if you guys aren't watching The Penguin at this point, you are seriously missing out. This is the best thing going right now. The best series on TV right now. Maybe the best series this year. Possibly behind House of the Dragon. Um, it's just head and shoulders above anything else I've watched this year. Oh my god! So episode three, another phenomenal episode. I keep waiting for there to be a lull in this series. I keep waiting for it to be not as good this week, and so far that is not happening. Uh, this week we go further into the partnership between Oz and Sophia, and um, trying to put Johnny Vitti in a spot where he has to cooperate with them, which it seemed impossible. It just at every turn so far, it's been like, man, how are they ever going to get this dude? Because he hates them, right? But they did discover that he's cheating with the boss's wife, right? He's he's messing around with Luca's wife. So uh, once you catch him doing that, it's like you've got him, and it worked out so well. I love the scene where they burst in on them in bed together, and it's like, I got you now, motherfucker. Um, and just the way I was nervous in that scene because I thought Oz was going to end up killing him like he did Alberto. I thought he was going to end up uh, losing control once again because he was being insulted, right? Um, Basically telling him that everyone keeps him around for for their entertainment, to laugh at him. Much like Alberto was laughing at him, and he shot him. And when he let loose on Johnny Vitti like that, I really thought, I'm like, oh, don't do it, don't do it. Um, and luckily he didn't, right? Because like, what would you do then? But that's the thing about the series; they keep getting into spots. Oz keeps getting into spots where there's no way out, and he somehow finds a way out, and that's like the best thing about it. That's what I've seen a lot of comparisons to The Sopranos, and that's also an HBO series. So I get the comparisons, and I love The Sopranos, right? But it, I don't know, it's a little different because whereas Tony was already a made man, um, he was part of the family. He wasn't the capo yet when the series started, but he was a member of the family. Now, Oz is a complete outcast. He's not at all part of the family. Like he's not a made man. In fact, most of the family kind of looks down on him, but he's useful to them, so they keep him around. And he's making this power move to basically take over operations in Gotham in terms of distributing drugs. Um, so that's, I don't know. It's a little more small man on the totem pole, right? It's a little more uh, of a rags to riches story than like a Tony Soprano. But I totally get. I mean, he feels a lot like Tony Soprano. What's also crazy is that it's Colin Farrell playing this character. Once again, it's like this guy is like just blowing me away with his acting ability, his character acting. It's crazy that he is the person in there. You forget you you when you're watching it, you're thinking you're watching an actor who is built like that and kind of looks like that, maybe with a little makeup on, but Colin Farrell is just like incredibly handsome, fit man. He looks nothing like Oscob. So it's it's just crazy to think about. And most of the time, you're not thinking about it because you just it doesn't even enter your mind that that's Colin Farrell. The accent and everything, it's incredible. So we find out a little more background on stuff this episode too, which is great for several characters. Right, we get um, that Tony. See, there it is. Um, you get that Oz did something to kind of rat out Sophia, or make it so that she ended up getting put into Arkham all those years ago, and so that's why there's some animosity. That maybe they were kind of close at one point. He was her driver, but then something happened where he saw an opportunity where if he kind of let something spill about her to the family, they'd lock her away in Arkham, and it would elevate him, and which it did. And I love that scene where he actually admits to Sophia that he doesn't regret doing that, even though he's very sorry that she went through all that. He's he doesn't regret doing it because he's got what he's gotten, you know. But he always wants more. So, and I think that's going to be his downfall in the end. Is like he nothing is ever enough. Once he gets elevated to a certain point, he wants to be elevated to the next point, and you know, forever. So it's I don't know. It's the catch 22. Like it's like he wants the power, but eventually it's gonna get him. It's gonna get his lust for power is gonna get him. Anyway, so we get a little more background into their relationship, which is really cool. We get some like very human moments from Oz where it builds the audience like a connection to Oz a little more, which I think is going to be uh, really important going forward because I think we're going to see him do some really foul shit at some point in this series that is going to have us turn on him. But much like Tony Soprano, like certain people that he killed towards the end of the series, you kind of hated the guy, but you've been with him so long that you're like willing to ride this out with him. Great stuff between him and Sophia in this episode, and turning Johnny VD the way they did, and um, but then you get also this episode. This is Victor's episode, right? You get to find out about Victor's family, how they died in the bombings, the flood that happened in the Batman, and that he has a girlfriend that's very important to him, and now he's struggling with this like. Should I run away and go with her and start a new life, or can I stay here and actually become somebody, be seen as somebody? Um, and then also he kind of feels like a hostage here. He feels like he can't go, like he knows too much. Oz might not let him go. But that scene with them in the bathroom is fantastic. Like after he has the panic attack, he's in the bathroom. He's about to maybe leave, and Oz takes his phone and sees the messages and is like, like what you think you were stuck here? You were never stuck here. Like so you're only here. Like Oz was really hurt by this because now he's realizing that this kid's only sticking around because he's afraid and he feels like he has to, um, like he's being held hostage there. So Oz kind of goes, dude, you could have left any time. Hey, get the fuck out of here. He goes, and I think I love and hate at the exact same time the fact that Victor comes back for Oz. That he doesn't run away with his girlfriend, doesn't even message her, doesn't tell her what's going on, but just comes back at the right moment, right when the Maronies are showing up because they're realizing that they're being double crossed here by the Penguin. So crazy moment, right? Once again, in a situation like how are they going to get out of this? And still, they're still at the end of this episode in that situation. Um, because not only do the Maronies realize that he's double crossing them, also Sophia realizes that she's not fully in the loop on what Oz is up to, and so that that crazy scene right at the end where maybe he's about to meet his maker or be taken by the Maronies. Victor flies in the car, returns and smashes into um, the Maronies and saves Oz. But then they ditch Sophia. They leave her there. So how is that going to play out? How's that? Are they still going to have a partnership? Is he going to be able to talk his way out of that? Um, Obviously, they've now killed some Maronies. What's going to happen now? More Maronies are dead. Um, so they're in another situation where like, how the hell are they going to talk their way out of this one? But I'm sure in the next episode, we're going to find out exactly how. And I can't wait. I can't wait because it always surprises me the twist that it takes, the turns that the series takes, and the things that Oz comes up with to play everyone on each other. So man, I'm just I'm loving this series. I want to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments um, what you think so far about the series. I mean, you got to be loving it, right? Like, is anyone disliking the series? I guess that's my question. Is anyone disliking it, and why? But feel free to lavish your praise on the series as well, let's talk about it in the comments, or you can reach out on social media at Real Brett Scott, whether it be on Instagram, X, TikTok. You can find me everywhere at Real Brett Scott. Um, be sure and check out my Marvel podcast if you're interested in that sort of thing. It's called Marvel Plus. You can find it anywhere podcasts are heard. And yeah, if you enjoy this type of thing where I talk entertainment, pop culture, TV shows, movies, stuff like that, then please subscribe to the channel. And if you do decide to stick around and subscribe, I will talk to you again real soon.